Hi, my name is Terry. I'm your boy Terry, and my username across the internet is surpassinggoogle. And I'm answering some questions related to the Philippines. Not like I'm an expert, but I'm a legitimate illiterate for the most part, and perhaps you'll see value in my perspective to matters. This is a very simple question. I have some say on the answers to this question because I live in the Philippines, Manila in particular, and for the most part, I know the vibe of the country. That's one of my gifts. Most times when I get to a country, it doesn't take me, having to live there for months or years to determine the state of the nation. For the most part, every nation is a location and made of humans. So when you look at humans and you have insights, quicker insights into the state of the nation. So, is the Philippines not safe to visit? Is the question at hand. It's one of the popular questions I found on Quora, and I felt like giving my insight, and I'm doing a live stream so that my insight is impromptu, so that I'm thinking in the process of answering, and so that my answer is uncut, real for the most part, uh, you know, So I've lived in Manila, and if your endeavor is to visit Manila and or the Philippines, you're encouraged to do so. Um, I'll answer it in two parts. It is safe for the most part. There is a measure of hospitality. If you're from another country, there is a measure of affinity for people for other nations, especially visitors. The Philippines is uh, they're adopting you know the appearance of a touristy kind of nation. I was in Thailand recently, and uh, Thailand has more of that, where they appear to be more foreigners. But the Philippines is, having that kind of vibe as well. Very welcoming to foreigners, and a good thing is, which you can add up as safety, is that the Philippines is English speaking. That helps to a very large extent. Not only are the locations locatable because most of the inscriptions are in English, but the people know a measure of English. Even those that are from rural locations and not very conversant with English, you can manage to communicate. There's something called Taglish, which is a mixture of English and Tagalog, which will enable you to communicate and ensure an added measure of safety. Because safety is not only, in terms of danger, it's also it has to do with security. You're feeling in comfort or in your comfort zone when you're in a location. You're just trying to move around, and you cannot read what's the next sign to you, and there's a measure of insecurity, and you feel it, and that discomfort constitutes unsafety for the most part. I experienced it in Thailand. I didn't want to step outside. I spent 10 days there, and most of the time I was indoors, because just going out and seeing different languages, and there the accent is very thick. So even those that speak English, you have difficulty, and so that's what I wanted to build on. The English aspect of the Philippines is very welcoming on its own and will make you feel at home. So especially if you can speak a measure of English, and you manage to thrive. Now, if you cannot speak English, there is a measure of discomfort, but you'll still find your way in the Philippines, because people are generally helpful to visitors to the Philippines, especially when you go to sites or enterprises, where you want to catch a fancy. There is a likelihood that you'll find someone that will help you. Um, find your way, and that adds up to safety. In terms of danger, there does exist things like hold up in. You'll see that popular in news outlets, and it's very possible that you carry out an entire decade here or lifetime here and not experience it at all. The frequency is not as painted when it comes to news, but there's possibility that it happens. I've experienced it, but this is where your own caution adds to and precaution adds to your safety. So you have to be cautious, basically, especially when you're going out at night. Be wary of your environment. And there are certain locations and listen. People will tell you to be safe in certain locations, so listening helps. Those things do exist, but very amplified crime or danger is rare. In other places, you experience it whether it's full blown stuff like that in daylight and with ammunition and stuff like that. I don't want to mention all those things. It's a rarity here. For the most part, what you'll encounter is things like hold up in, not hold up in, maybe you have something snatched. I've not experienced that before, but hold up in is possible, where you're held up of your small possession with a weapon, but it's rare. So, for more safety, it's best that your location matters as well. There are places that are isolated, containing mostly of foreigners. Those places are safer. If you have money, taxis are quite safe. Maybe safer than tricycles. There's a measure of unsafety. I won't lie to you. Where, but they read your own language, your body language. If they see that you are vulnerable and you're in a particular location over a period of time, and they identify you as maybe a spender, not even just not lavish spending, but maybe you're always tipping, depending on that locality. I'm talking from experience. Once they see that you're vulnerable, mostly alone, you don't have backup or something, and you're there over a period of time, and they start to establish your timetable, then there's a likelihood that something may come up because there is something where people talk and news spread very fast. And, you don't know who is who. Someone just without any bad intention may just be discussing, oh, he likes tipping, he has so much money, stuff like that. Then the news spreads and a particular ear carries it, and you're timed, and then maybe you experience the hold up. But it's very possible that you never experience it. I've experienced it sometime, but not in Manila. I went outside of Manila. I was looking for some measure of safety, coincidentally, but I won't say my experiences. So I went to another locality, and there I experienced hold up in several times till I run back to Manila. But when I returned to Manila, I changed location. I started in BGC, then moved to subdivision kind of location, and then there was more safety. I was taking more of taxis too, although it's more expensive. Yes, but yes. So if you're coming to visit, no problem. Walang problema, walang anuman. Uh, Visit the Philippines. And if you want me to help you when you're around, I can. I've been here for a long time. I'm half Filipino as well, um, so feel free to visit the Philippines. There are other locations besides Manila that is calmer. You know, visit these places. Um, and contact me. My email is going to be underneath the description. You can contact me with questions or directions. I'm your boy Terry. My username is surpassinggoogle across the internet. Stay awesome. So, is the Philippines not safe? It is safe. Visit Terry.